through your freedom. Well.
We were right. It's hit the fan. So let's dive in and talk about it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, folks. The only show that features a near albino show host. Anyways, welcome back. I got to tell you, folks, we've got it together, me and you. We know what the hell's going on. We've seen it all, from the medical abuse, the legal abuse, the police abuse, the tax abuse, government abuse, international war. Those types of abuses are being just thrown down everyone's throats, and you see it. You hear it and you feel it, just like you feel the matrix when you pay your taxes. I tell you what, but the system, whatever that system is that you want to call it, it's falling apart, folks. In fact, I think Joe Biden himself is a prime example of how the system is falling apart, the system they created, and a system now they're letting fall apart so they can introduce more chaos. Oh, I don't have any doubts about it, folks. I know that what they're doing is intentional. Absolutely 100% intentional. They're leaving Joe Biden in the office of the president. They're not going to 25th Amendment him. Nope, they won't 86 him that way. They won't let Kevin McCarthy impeach his dumbass, and they should, and we'll talk about that as well. They want him in there, folks, because he's an old fool. And the Biden family thinks they're cutting a fat hog by screwing everyone over, cutting all these international deals, selling secrets. That's right. Joe admitted that he sold a lot of secrets. You bet he has. You bet Hunter Biden smoked a lot of crack. In fact, the footage coming from 4th of July kind of looks like he's putting some powdered donuts in his nose. I'll tell you what, he's definitely tweaked out of his mind. But today, just talking about it made me go, oh man, my nose. Today, Joe Biden failed huge. Couldn't read the teleprompter. Massive intellectual wipeout in front of the world. And guess what? The media doesn't have a fucking problem one with it, do they? No, they don't. Trump one time stumbled, caught his toe and stumbled on something. They started saying, we need to get this guy out of the office. He needs to be 25th Amendment. He's not fit for the office. He's unhealthy. This guy stumbles, falls. They put an even smaller set of stairs on Air Force One. I can't wait till they get him on one of those things that, right, take him down that way. I'm waiting for it. I'm absolutely waiting for it. He trips coming off of that. He gets lost on stage. He gets lost off stage. He doesn't know where he's going. Fine. Anyways, he couldn't even read the fucking teleprompter. Absolute, total embarrassment, folks. Embarrassment. Okay. I'm going to do my monologue. Tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Free for All Friday. I want you to be there for that. We've got some stuff to talk about. Let's do a lot today. Let's have some fun today, right? Cocaine in the White House. I'm going there. Today, U.S. Senator Cotton, speaking of white and fluffy, Cotton went after the Secret Service over the cocaine at the White House. He says, look, the American people deserve to know whether illicit drugs were found in an area where confidential information is exchanged, is kept, is talked about. Cocaine in the White House. I mean, we all suspected Bill Clinton. At least, folks, at least we didn't hear about any of his cocaine parties, right? We heard about his pizza parties with Monica Lewinsky, and we heard about his cigar parties with Monica Lewinsky, but not cocaine. Now, President Trump weighed in, and he says, does anybody really believe that cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? Anyone? Anyone? Fucking Bueller. Unbelievable what these fucking people are doing to this country. On the one hand, you and I look at Biden and go, this guy's shot. He's absolutely spent. He's done. And from their side, they look at Trump and go, this guy's shot. He's no good, right? As the country devolves lower and lower and lower. I got some information from Mr. Skylight today that suggests that France is going to tailspin into a civil war unless they get their shit together, and they get it together quick, is my addition to that comment. So the French legislature, not the executive Macron, who, while France is burning, goes and attends social functions. Got to put his fucking pinky in the air while he fucks over the people of France. France, the legislature, has given the police power to activate mobile devices, cameras, microphones, and to get the geolocation data for surveillance. That's power, right? No. What's interesting is that the phones, my phone, your phone, the smartphones, have it within them that the phone company, at the behest of the government, can turn on cameras, microphones, and GPS. How do you feel now, knowing that at any moment, this motherfucking phone right here could turn on and start watching, listening, and letting the government know where I am? I don't like that. That's not power, folks. Not in the way that they need or claim to need in France to stop chaos and terror by a bunch of jihadists. That's right, folks. It's a jihad over there now. They've turned it into a holy war. Are you surprised? In fact, it's part of their, how do we put this? It's part of their scheme. Lie, cheat, and steal. Well, of course, because the infidels, right, in charge of the world, they don't care what they think or say. You know, they're infidels. They need to be killed. So, you know, why not be dishonest to them? Now, let's see. This just popped up. Dan Bongino. I still don't know what to make of this guy. I like him and I don't. Former Secret Service agent. He's gotten into doing what we do here, talking to the world, trying to get the truth out there, right? He explains there's only one possibility for the cocaine being in the White House. Let's see. What did Dan? Come on, give it to us. I hate how articles want to try and hide shit. Family member left the coke behind before departing. Dan Bongino says that this is exactly what happened. Yeah, no shit. Didn't we say that? It took Dan Bongino to tell us that? He says there's absolutely zero chance anyone other than a family member brought that coke into the White House complex. No chance that would make it past the security checkpoints. Family bypasses security checkpoints. Surprise, 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 says Gomer Pyle. Tell you what. Yep, there we are. Now, this is interesting. I wanted to share this with you. You know how I used to think that Marge Taylor Greene was awesome. Big Marge Taylor Greene. She was all gung-ho for everything. Well, she had her ass kicked out of the House Freedom Caucus. The Freedom Caucus, folks. Isn't she fighting for America? Is she a rhino or not? Well, apparently something bad happened there. I guess what happened was on the House floor, Marge Taylor Greene called Representative Boebert a little bitch. Apparently, that's not really allowed. Here's what Andy Harris, Republican out of Maryland, said. A vote was taken to remove Marge Taylor Greene from the House Freedom Caucus for some of the things she's done. Folks, let's see. As much as I don't think she should have called Representative Boebert a little bitch, has anyone looked at what the fucking Republicans have allowed the Democrats to get away with for the last, 40 fucking years? For example, Adam Schiff lied, continued to lie, lied intentionally, lied some more. And he was only given a censure, and that barely passed. He lied about President Trump, which resulted in bullshit impeachment, which was pushed through by every other Democrat out there. Right? We talked weeks ago about principle. Principle matters. These people have no principles. Now, I appreciate the fact that the Freedom Caucus does have principle, but if that was it, right? Or is Marge Taylor Greene, were there other problems with her? Has she kind of lost her marbles? Has she gotten into Hunter's Coke? I don't know. It's trouble. Now, I have heard that basically Marge Taylor Greene is like Dan Crenshaw, except she has two eyes. These fucking people. Washington, folks, is a scary place. Almost like flying Spirit Airlines is a scary thing to do. Now, the White House, folks, is now claiming that the cocaine was not found in the library with the candlestick and Mr. Green. It wasn't found in the boardroom with Professor Plum and the wrench. Apparently now it's been found near the Situation Room, next to Kamala Harris's vehicle parked with the dildo. It's really, I'm telling you, folks, it just gets stupider and stupider and stupider every time I turn around. Okay, get your questions in. Get your questions in down below to Ooman, who's in the house. He's somewhere, folks. He's somewhere important. Mr. Ooman is. I think Mr. Ooman. No, I won't say where he's at. It's not my right or privilege or anything else to say where he's at. If he wants to come on and tell us where he's at and what he's up to, I'll let him do that. But just let it be known that next week we're going to be doing some stuff. It may be an aquatic adventure or it may be a land-based adventure. Not too sure, but it's that summer season of fun, I tell you. And I hope you are taking advantage of it, as long as it's not too damn hot, for you to get out there, get lots of exercise, get healthy. Learn to breathe, folks. Breathe in deep, expand your lungs, get in good shape. I'm telling you, you'll feel much better. Let's do this. Folks, you and I, we want good, healthy bodies, clear minds. We want good health. We want food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. You better be prepared for what's coming, because it's coming. The left, on the other hand, folks, they're off the chart stupid. Their Trump derangement syndrome is incredible. Now, someone interviewed another one of the J6ers, the January 6 people who are arrested. Now, I don't know if you've ever watched a show on like the Inquisition or ancient England, where if you were in trouble with the law or the church, they would make you confess your sin, right, and blame someone else. So, of course, if you did something wrong and the government had a beef with your uncle or your cousin or your aunt, as long as you blamed the person they told you to blame, they'd let you off, and then they would go attack that other person with your accusation. Get this, folks. This January 6er was given a plea deal, which he didn't take, by the way. It included condemnation of President Trump, and he had to say the words, "President Trump made me do it." What good does that do anybody for a district attorney, a federal attorney? What good does it do for them to get you to say, Trump made me do it? How does that change anything else on the planet? Is there a big box of Trump made me do it signatures and that'll come out during the election like that really matters? Let's see. Yeah, we got 50 people were in prison admitted that Trump made them do it. Even though Trump never said to do it, and nobody has any real proof of that. In fact, I think on January 6th, Trump said, everyone be peaceful. And the statements he made regarding the Capitol were made after all of the stupidity was started by the cops. That's right. Once again, January 6th, the insurrection, which no one has been charged with, folks. The insurrection no one's been charged with started before, Trump said anything about, Congress. And it was started by the police. It was started by federal agents. It was started by goons. Goons, folks. They're so bad, I've told you, I don't think I'm going to allow myself to be arrested ever. I've never done anything wrong that the feds need to worry about because I've never done anything wrong. But if they said, why don't you just come with us downtown? I don't think I'm going to. There's no reason for me. I haven't been witness to any crime. I haven't committed any crime. No. What they want to do is get you in there and screw you over or just kill you. Now, do you remember the IRS whistleblower that he went missing, This guy, Dr. Gal Luft. He's come public. He's hiding, folks, but he didn't come public. He released a 14-minute video, and he threw out names. He named names, the criminal allegations, accusations against the whole Biden crime family. It's incredible, folks. That's right. The clown in chief, Bidenski Potato Sir, This guy came out for 14 minutes. He said, I saw it as my civic duty. I saw it as my civic duty to alert the government beforehand and give it enough time to probe the issue. I want to be clear. I'm not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I have no motive or agenda politically. So, this guy, I guess he was arrested in Cyprus, folks. The government's been doing everything they can to stop him. Arrested him in Cyprus. He says that the Biden family's gotten payments from individuals with ties to Chinese military intelligence. And he said that they have an FBI mole, who shared classified information with their benefactors. In other words, using FBI agents. The Biden family uses other agents as intermediaries to get information passed. That's incredible, folks. Incredible allegations out there. And do you believe the Bidens? Do you believe Joe Biden when he says he didn't lie? Do you believe Hunter Biden? Do you believe, really? I can't believe any of these people. There's no way in hell I could believe any of them. Unfucking believable. Let's go. Let's change directions a little. I'm about 20 minutes into it. I've got just a few more minutes, and I want your questions on here. So if you would, please, get your questions down below. Get them to Uman so we can get them up on the screen and talk about them. I want to remind everyone, folks, of all of the sickness in this country. And I'm not just talking about the White House. I want to talk about the teachers' unions, teachers, school boards, all across the whole country, not just one area or one state. It's the whole country. Now, someone might say, John, you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There's good teachers out there. Okay, show them to me. Let them stand up and denounce everything that all the teachers unions and other teachers are pushing. The biggest teachers union in the whole country, folks, is recommending illustrated, that is, pornographic books with pictures to help children understand what it is that these sick, perverted adults want them to do. One of the books is called Gender Queer. And another one's called white fragility, because we need to have racist attacks against whites, white culture, white tradition, white history, which is not white culture, white tradition, white history. There have always been black people, brown people. Name all your colors. It's not a rainbow. Don't say that. All of them. There've always been black people. There's always been brown people. There's always been whatever color, everyone from the Middle East, the Far East, the Near East, the Northeast, the Orient. That's what these teachers unions want, folks. Teachers that don't want this better start saying something. If it gets you fired, then fuck them. You're going to go to work with and for a bunch of perverts out there who are trying to, well, they don't even deny it anymore. They're grooming children. Wasn't there an organization called Gays Against Groomers? They know what the hell they're doing. They know for sure. Oh, but wait, there's more, folks. I mean, this whole entire fruit salad rainbow of joy and love, it isn't what they sold it as, folks. I'm going to give you a little news flash here. Over in the United Kingdom, the UK, over in Britain, a 15-year-old boy woke up, not from a nap, not from a good night's sleep. He woke up on the ground. He was knocked out and raped by two women. Let that sink in for a minute. 15-year-old boy wakes up naked on the ground. He had been knocked out by two women and raped. One of the women, folks, was 6'3" tall. The other was tall also, but 6'3". Those are women rapists. So apparently this young boy saw these women and they walked past him, and then he got hit on the head, clubbed, stripped naked, and raped. And so the police report is saying that he got raped by two women, and they have a description of the two women and the clothes the women are wearing. Sounds like the police respect the gender choices of male homosexual rapists more than they respect a young man's health and safety. How is the public supposed to catch somebody who isn't described properly? Well, I guess if the men are dressed like women and are some kind of Fruit Loops, can anyone accuse them or say, that's them there, that looks like the description? Well, let's see, it's a 6'3" woman with green hair and an Adam's apple, a large nose and a mustache and a bulge, but it's a woman. Wow. How is the public supposed to catch someone who isn't described properly? What if the women decide to change the way they look and dress as men now? Can they be arrested, or is that a violation of some sort of LGBT hate law? This is how fucked up the whole thing is now, folks. The story is unraveling. These people are sick in the head. Think about it. Just think of the last fruitcake I saw was at an airport, and it marched up and down past every terminal, back and forth, trying to get people to pay attention to it. Dressed in the most awful shoes, fishnet stockings, whore leather mini skirt, and whatever else the thing was wearing. It's the stuff nightmares are made of, folks. Adam's apple included. All they want is attention. Well, they're going to get negative attention because that's what they seem to ask for. Tell you what, folks, crazy days, crazy days. You want some more? We just went through July 4th, Independence Day. January is my birthday month. July 4th, Independence Day, right? And so none other than idiot Democrat representative in Congress, Cori Bush, the Marxist. She came out and had a tirade, folks, accusing the creators, the authors, the signatories of the Declaration of Independence, of being slave owners. Folks, this is the idiocy of the left. There no longer has to be a shred of proof or evidence of it. Right? 5 men worked on, modified, and created the Declaration of Independence. 3 of them never owned slaves. 2 did in their younger years, but after the American Revolution, they worked to outlaw it. They freed their slaves, they condemned it. But still, the absolute stunning ignorance of Cori Bush allows her to lie about anything, just like all the other Democrats. Just like Adam Schiff, who should have gotten more than a censure. He should have been expelled from Congress for blatant, intentional lies used to smear the president and the office of the president of these United States of America. So, folks, the men who created and modified the Declaration of Independence were not all enslavers, as socialist Cori Bush claimed. Right? The founders were good people. They did the best they could. They lived in a time. They lived in a time when other people did own slaves. Interesting times, no doubt, right? Now, by today's standards, if we heard of anybody who owned a slave, who exploited another human, right, wouldn't you be expected to just go right on down there and kick open their front door and free the people? What about all the children who are being trafficked right now? What about the women who are being trafficked right now by pimps? What about the women that are exploited by Hunter Biden, using drugs and some cash to convince them to commit the most filthy and insane acts with him? Isn't that a form of exploitation? Yet there we are, folks. Who in the White House looks like they would just love to have children locked in his office closet? None other than the ice cream licker in chief himself, who after every speech, every public appearance, if he sees a child, especially some little girls, he's got to run over to them and start talking to them or trying to convince them, hey, come up to the Oval Office, I'll give you some ice cream. Right? That's happening today. Yet Cori Bush wants to look back 250 years and further to say that this country is bad and that the people who created this country were slavers. Now, is that the best they have to use as evidence that America is not good? The only country at that time to declare, pronounce, and gain freedom from the monarchy and from the Pope. Right? Whatever king or queen in any country, they claim to own some part of the planet, or the Pope did, or they jointly shared custody of everyone and kept everyone as property. Oh, Cori Bush, Marxist, communist pile of dung. Guess what? She would treat you like a slave in a fucking second. That's right. Because, folks, in socialism, the state, that is to say the government, owns you 100%. Lock, stock, and barrel. You are nothing more than chattel to them. You are to work and work and work and pay taxes. And they'll come and take all your property and give it to others if they feel like it. The state owns everything, including you. That makes you a fucking slave to someone's mentality. Someone like Democrat Cori Bush, who doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. She wants ultimate government power over you. How is that not ownership? Folks, you feeling the July 4th in your blood starting to boil? Well, it should, folks. It should make you pissed off. These fucking hypocrites out here. They want to destroy this country and destroy children. They want to destroy our history, our heritage, our laws, our rules. And they use the most idiotic people amongst us to attack us. People like Cori Bush or Joe Biden, your local idiot city councilman, your local idiot police chief, who's more than willing to follow any order just doing my duty, violating everyone's rights, willingly, willfully, intentionally, for a fucking paycheck. And all they can do is tear down great men who lived 250 years ago, who put it all on the line for all of us. That's the best they got, right? And just for giggles, folks, before we go to the big switch-o, change-o, Greta Thunberg, the how dare you, Greta the climate Grinch. She has been charged with disobeying law enforcement because in Sweden they're having a climate protest. Let's hope that she gets the potential 6 months in prison. They ought to throw the book at the little wench. Just for giggles. How dare you? Oh, man. If ever there was someone who needs to be kicked in the ass, she is amongst them. All right, Mr. Uman, I hope you're doing well in your secret location. Who do we want to put up first? Who is going to be coming out in the inner circle? It's Orlando, and he says, statement, part 1. Just thinking back. The Pentagon said they don't know where the $2.3 trillion went. The cocaine White House says they don't know what happened to the $6.2 billion worth of aid, where it went. But the IRS says that they now have 90,000 new potentially armed agents to make sure they get back every last penny you owe them. Oh, we know the truth, says Orlando. We are paying for our own demise. Our attention is being pulled away from what our government is doing, and besides us, no one else sees this. Well, I tell you what. Let me see if I can find that text message because I wrote something there that I think is important. It was in response to the potential. Where is it? Good golly, I can't find it. Oh, well. There it is, right there. The potential civil war in France. It's very important, folks, for us to understand where they're taking us. Well, that was the wrong thing. Or was it? One moment, folks. You see, France wants to have a civil war. Not the people, folks. Not the people. The government. The government is doing exactly what it wants to. Is it not? The government is doing exactly what it wants to. It's importing criminals. It's ruining its own economy. It's destroying its own culture. It's inviting chaos and violence. Now, last year, I'm pretty sure everyone should remember, was it last year or the year before? The not retired military, but the current officer corps as well as enlisted corps came out, the French military, and said, we're going to have a civil war in this country. The only thing that's going to stop the civil war, folks, is if the immigrants in France decide that they want to stop. Otherwise, it's going to continue. What has France done to stop this? Well, they brought out a bunch of agents, and the guy that got killed, their version of St. George Floyd, right? He had run from cops, high-speed chases, 15 times? Guy had a huge rap sheet. He was a violent, criminal, dangerous piece of shit. He got shot trying to drive away with an officer stuck to the vehicle, had his arm in or something like that. He could have been run over. And I understand. I'm no big fan of heavy-handed police. at the same time, in this situation, sounds like they had good reason to be concerned. Now, the governments are all bringing the system down, and then they're also coming after law-abiding citizens. Law-abiding citizens, right? You break the law, you, wherever you're at, you know the police will get you. They'll arrest you, they'll throw you in jail, and that's where you'll stay. But if you're a homeless vagrant or one of a group of, I don't know, the ghetto mentality scumbags, they're just going to look at you and let you get away with it. Certainly, if you're a BLM or Antifa scumbag, they're going to let you get away with all kinds of crimes because they want civil war. They want destruction. Call it partisan conflict. Do they really think they're going to get control of the system back and that they're going to get to do what they want with it? Well, you see, those areas where we live, where we say, look, I would get in trouble if I tried some of that shit. Our areas are going to stay law and order areas. And if they get out of hand for any amount of time, there are going to be people walking around and they're going to be designated Swiss cheese for their efforts. That is coming. This idea that the government is going to put a bunch of IRS agents on us, it's meant to scare us, to keep us obeying the law and paying our taxes while they bring the rest of the system down. The Bidens, they'll get away with all kinds of tax crimes and financial crimes and violating federal law left and right. They don't care. They know they're going to get away with it. That's why they continue to do it. Now, I'm sure they're a little nervous. I'm sure they're kind of concerned. I'm sure they're pulling every string they have to keep themselves out of jail and keep themselves in office making money. But isn't it a shame, an absolute shame now? You know it is, right? You look at what's going on and you know for a fact that what these people are doing is criminal. They know it's criminal, but they keep doing it. Are they that sick? Are they that stupid? Do they think we're that stupid? Right? Craziness. Anyways, Orlando, thank you very much. I appreciate the question, the comment, the thought. We are paying for our own demise by paying taxes to an organization that's growing to ensure we continue to pay our taxes and fear the government. The same government that allows criminals at the lowest level and criminals at the highest level get away. And you and I are stuck in the middle. That's how it rolls. Hey there, Ooman. Looks like we got the prepared mother. We got Jolene in the house also behind the scenes taking care of business. Who wants to step up next in the inner circle and bring their subject out to play? Ooman, we got, he says, hey, how about Jane Dixon? She says, don't care about cocaine in the White House. No, it was hunters. Everyone else gets searched. Of course it was hunters, right? Who else is a known cokehead that has anything to do with the White House? I mean, it's like seeing the kid with chocolate all over his face, right? Chocolate all over his fingers, and then saying, who broke in? Who got into the cookie jar? Right? You look at the kid with chocolate all over him. You look at Hunter, and he's just this bloodshot eyes, wired, looks like he's strung out. He's a known coke addict. He smokes crack in his car. He smokes crack in hotel rooms. He weighs out his drugs on a scale, arguing with a hooker about his drugs. When he's smoking weed passed out in a hot tub. Fucking crack pipes. Wait, how many crack pipes has been found? I mean, just think about it, folks. I don't know how this snuck out. How did the information get out that they found cocaine? Don't you think the Secret Service would have went, whoa, found a little baggie of coke. We better hide that. We want to make sure that the boss, the big guy, doesn't get mad. We don't embarrass the Biden family. I bet they're so fucking stupid and blatantly jerkish, talking about the Biden family, that the Secret Service is up to here with it, even though most of them fucking sold out. I don't think that Biden lets Republican Secret Servicemen take care of White House issues, especially with old Hunter Biden around. Old Hunter Biden. Wow. Yeah. Everyone else gets searched. Hunter, Jill, hunters, hookers. They don't get searched going in there. But yeah, how many other times have they found crack pipes, found doobage, weed, right? Joints, reefers. How many other times has that happened, right? And they're just finally they're like, fuck it, let's let this story leak. This got leaked out, folks. It got leaked out, and the mainstream media couldn't ignore it. It got leaked out, and everyone gets to talk about it. Well, but they're not screaming and yelling. In fact, folks, right, the stinking media, the mainstream media, they don't give a shit. Right? They're making a joke about it. No, man. What? Cocaine. Massive illegal drug found in the White House, right? Get this, right? The CNN hosts, they're laughing and joking about it. Laughing and joking. It's not a national security issue. Folks, it really isn't, because now the White House is a clown show. The White House is a circus with a hard roof. The rest of the world is laughing. Do you think the rest of the world is going to trust anything that is said or done by the American government? Right? Why should they? Why should they trust? They know they're a bunch of grifters, right? That's what they know. They're a bunch of grifters, a bunch of salesmen, a bunch of con artists, a bunch of carpetbaggers. That's what they are. And Uman says we should have mandatory drug testing for all elected officials. That's right, folks. Now, here's the deal. And illegal drug use is a threat to national security. I agree 100%. It is. People who take drugs, criminals, prostitutes, right? People of low moral character, they can't be trusted in positions of high authority. Why? Because they're already compromised. They're compromised. They can be bought off. They can be sold. They can be blackmailed. They can use them for extortion purposes. Hunter Biden shouldn't be allowed in the White House because he's a known drug addict. Yet there he is, walking around the White House with national secrets all over the place. Meaning, are those papers confidential? How would you know? I'm sure just like the ones in Joe Biden's garage, his office, his home, his college library. Yeah, right. I mean, do you have 5 different places? You had secret documents, classified, confidential documents kept. Joe Biden, no problem. You're fine, Big Joe. National security. We should have mandatory drug testing for all elected officials. You want to be an elected official, you submit to drug testing, and the results are made public. Not just made public, but accessible on the internet to anybody. Hey, if you're taking a heart medication, so what? We get to know. You're a public official. You don't get to have privacy. You're a public official. We, on the other hand, pay the bill. We're not out for public hire. We're not getting government money. We're not asking for the authority to run the country the way government politicians are. They should be subjected to the highest taxes. They should be subjected to drug testing and public scrutiny. I don't care. I don't care if you're taking 10 million milligrams of Viagra every day just so you can stand erect, right? Fine. Too bad. We all need to know. You're taking whatever. I don't care. If you're taking OxyContin or some other barbiturate or opioid for pain, fine, take it. I don't give a shit, but we need to know about it. We need to be able to take that into consideration. In fact, I'll go one step further, Uman. There should be mandatory drug testing, not for all elected officials, but all elected officials and anyone running for the office, whether it's local, state, or federal. You want to run for office, you submit to a drug test, and it's made public for everyone to scrutinize. How about that, man? I'll go one further with you. All right, thanks, man. Let's move on, if we shall. Let's hit another subject. I'm feeling like I'm on a roll. What do we got next? We got, hey, it's Chin Music stepping in. He says the Republicans had bellied up to the breakfast table and had 2 scoops of Democrats' stupid and allowed it ever since I've been old enough to vote. You ain't shedding, man. I'm telling you, 100% agree. 100%. Where is the Republican Party on any of this? Well, they haven't censured Joe Biden, much less impeached him. Several people, several Congress people have now introduced articles of impeachment. How much more do we need? How much more? He should be impeached because he can't read a teleprompter. It's not like he got lost just once. It's not like he hasn't made up bullshit and lied about everything in his life, from being a coal miner to a truck driver to a teacher to a karate expert to going to a black college. Everything this guy has done, right? He sounds like he's lived a 500-year life, and he's just done it all. The Republicans have done jack shit about it. The man sold out the military. He sold out American citizens and abandoned them. He sold out our allies, and he sold out the entire population of Afghanistan. He left $85 billion in military equipment for our enemy to get a hold of. American servicemen died because of what he has done. They served with honor. They did what they could, but they died because of the incompetence or just the plain old evil of these fucking people in Washington, D.C. They don't have any clue, nor do they care what really happens in the world, as long as they get their palm greased with money. 2 scoops of Democrat stupid. Boy, folks, and then, I'm telling you, Chin, and then they sprinkled some cocaine on top just to make it happen. Where is Kevin McCarthy, folks? He is the Speaker of the House. How can you not see all the clear violations of morals, ethics, duty, their oaths, as well as the law? I mean, Biden just comes out and admits shit. Like, yeah, I withheld money from those guys until they stopped investigating my son, Hunter. Yay, everybody cheer me on. I sold state secrets. We have the most extensive voter fraud organization ever. No shit. Unbelievable. He said it, not me. Good golly. All right, let us continue if we shall. Mr. Uman, Jolene, who do we want to put up next? It is Charles Gentry. Folks, I want to remind you, on YouTube, share the internet address. On YouTube, hit the thumbs up. On YouTube, hit the subscribe button. On YouTube, share these videos with other people so they can wake up. I'm sure that most people, even though they kind of hear about stuff, they don't ever hear anyone say, that son of a bitch needs to be impeached. They need to hear that. Joe Biden, that son of a bitch, he needs to be impeached. He needs to be convicted by the Senate and removed from office. Charles Gentry said, the truth is always the first casualty in any war. In the kingdom of lies, the truth is treason. Well said. That's, in fact, I can't remember who said it. I think that's an actual quote. It wasn't Cicero, was it? The truth is always the first casualty in any war. I bet Uman is just dying to look that up and tell us who said that. The truth is always the first casualty in any war. Is it in war, the truth is always the first casualty? Whatever it is, I can't remember. It's a great quote, though, because it's true. Folks, you know when something's true. You can feel it from your balls to your bones, all the way. You just know. Thank you very much, Charles. Mr. Uman, Jolene, where do we want to go next? That's right. We're going to go right in the garbage can with Garbage Benny. He says a big feature of SHTF are the social climber imposters posting fake job ads in the trucking industry. Why do people pretend to be business owners? It is like stolen valor, the same type of crazy. I didn't know that people are posting fake jobs in the trucking industry. Help me out. Help me out. What's the purpose of that? Posting job advertisements for the trucking industry. I don't get it. How does that make things any? Is it just a distraction? Is it to make people think in social media that there's lots of jobs out there, that the economy's just roaring? There's a lot of things I just don't get. I mean, I just don't spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. There's so many hustles. I keep getting texts lately, phone texts, from people pretending to be my friend. And they're like, hey, Kevin, man, missed you at the golf course. Give me a call. Or, hey, Kevin. I think someone actually called me Kevin. Hey, George, missed you at the country club. Give me a call. Or some obviously overly feminized type name. Hey, John. They don't say John because they don't know my name. Hey, Fred, are you lonely? Why would anyone answer and respond to a text message that's clearly not meant for them and is clearly phishing? I don't know. I guess, if these people, these criminals, these fucking morons out there, if they were half as ambitious at a regular job, they'd probably be successful. They put more time into hustles and cons. I tell you what, I think I figured out your job ads thing, right? They want people to click on it and then they get money for clicks. They may go to a dead end or no job or nothing at all, but some company paid for that click. So that's what they got. They got some click money, clickbait. That's about it. That's all I can come up with. All righty, where do we want to go next? We got Uman says the original quote is, "Thank you, sir." He's always on it, man. Uman, he's got like 6 arms. He says the first casualty of war, the first casualty when war comes is truth, and it wasn't Cicero. It was Hiram W. Johnson, the staunchly isolationist senator for California, to the U.S. Senate in 1917. It's interesting that a U.S. senator from that era, 100 years ago, would have uttered this quote. That is really quite interesting. But it has been recast much the way it was typed up there before. But I guess the original quote is, the first casualty when war comes is truth. You know what? That may have been put at the beginning of Platoon. No, that was a quote about innocence, right? There's a quote about innocence and war that the movie Platoon opened up with. And what a great movie. I try and watch that. I like to watch that movie at least once every couple of months just to remind me. The jungle, folks. Right, what's in the jungle? All right, before I start having any flashbacks, let's do this. That fucking chicken and me and the chicken. All right. Do we have some more? Do we got more? Oh, it's chin music. All right. Let's say, Chin music says, John, I'll never be able to enjoy fruit salad ever. Thanks, man. Fruit salad is off the menu in Chin's house. I tell you, man. Today I had a pear. I had a pear for lunch. I like oranges. I like orange juice, right? But I don't really. You got fruits on the one hand, and then edible fruit on the other, and never do the two come together in my life. No fruits, no thank you. But I get it, dude. Yeah, fruit salad, it's over with for me. Some of the people I know, they're like, man, fruit salad, how'd you come up with that? And just imagining one of their monkeypox splash and party, I'm sure it's just fucked up. These people are really screwed up, folks. They're just sick. Every last one of them, folks. They're sick in the head. Either they're criminals that want your children, or they're criminals who want to steal all your shit. And then there's criminals that want you, your shit, and the children. Get this, folks. A career criminal, absolute scumbag, has broken into his last home ever. Was he after goods? Was he after her? Was he after the children? Anyways, the moral of the story is don't break into people's houses. Don't try and steal their shit. Don't try and, kill children, take children, steal children, whatever. Because, well, in this case, the mother didn't hesitate to protect her kids. And so that criminal breathed his last. Career criminal. Now, what I think is being lost on the world is that guns help women. Guns help the old. Guns help the weak deal with criminals in a way that otherwise they would just be victims of. Right? They would just be victims of them. Right? The example, right? The thought, the good guy with a gun. The reason we need to have guns is because not everyone is 6'6", 270 pounds, and ready to tear someone's fucking head off and use their head as a fucking bowling ball. Not everyone can do that, or wants to. Right? So they need that help. But I'm glad we have the Second Amendment because it lets the criminals know, and it lets the federal government know, and it helps women. It helps the old. It helps the young. Do you think I'm going to make this a 21-year-old young person stands a chance against a violent career criminal who's in their late 20s, their 30s, in a fight, in a break-in scenario? No. Self-defense is absolutely critical. A mother, same story. She can't defend against a criminal. How about this? How about 2 criminals, 3 criminals that are there to break into your home, steal your shit, assault you, and if you're anything like that poor 15-year-old kid in the UK, you just might become the victim of a butt pirate. You can't take a chance with these people. Right? These people are that dangerous. I mean, wow. So this guy, this mother, the family was sleeping, right? He confronted the lady, threatened him, or he threatened her. He had weapons, and she got to defend herself. Right? The guy was pronounced dead on the scene, right? Got his toe tag the fun way. Anyways, folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Yeah, it's actually, it's actually a kind of a nice thing to say. What is going to happen in this country when the criminals run amok, when the politicians run amok? How about when Antifa and BLM start their shit again? Right now we also have the fruit salad people. They want to get violent. They want to buy guns. They want to threaten us. What are we to think? We the people. We know we've got Second Amendment rights. We know we have access to self-preservation tools. Yet we're, castigated? We're villainized by the mainstream media, by politicians, by the news, by Hollywood. What's funny, though, folks, is really what movies in Hollywood do really well? That's right, the shoot-'em-up movies. And usually, folks, the shoot-'em-up movies have the heroes doing the shooting. Why is it Hollywood can make billions of dollars with movies where the good guys use guns to get, revenge or solve a mystery or arrest the bad guys and take out, the enemy? Guns help regular people do that, but just in the movies, right? Anyways, that's what I got to say about that. Hey, folks, chance favors the prepared mind, Seriously. Help people realize that. So share the internet address out there on YouTube with everyone you can. Get them to wake up. Look out for themselves. I mean, good God, help yourselves, folks, right? That's what we like to say. So you guys be cool. I'll see you tomorrow, 0 Dark 30. Have a great night. Be cool. Be safe. God bless America. Semper Fi.